Hey, what's up, everyone? I hope you're very well. I hope you're having a very good day. I was walking on the sidewalk and I noticed that there was like a pile of leaves, autumn season, and a bunch of these little seedlings were growing in those piles of leaves. You can see them here and over there, there's a bunch of them. And what's gonna happen with them is that they're gonna die because the moisture from the leaves is gonna evaporate, drying up the leaves and effectively killing them. Interesting thing about these little seedlings is that these are Bucida Spinosas, which it's the spiny black olive. You can see that the seeds fell down, because of the rainy season. They germinated in this pile of leaves. We can see the seeds over there. Yeah. And now there's a bunch of little seedlings growing right on the side of the street. Yeah. And we can see the mother plant over here. So it'd be a shame if I left them all to die. I'm not gonna collect all of them because it's a huge number of them. But I'm gonna collect a few of them and start growing them as bonsai. This will be sort of like an urban yamadori. I'll be collecting a couple of seedlings and start growing them as bonsai. Yeah. So I'm gonna collect a few. You see how easy it is to collect them if I crouch down, take them out of the leaves. You can see that we got the seed there. Sorry. So I'm gonna take a couple and then we'll plant them. Yeah. Okay, so here we are. I got these back home and we can see that like I said, they were already suffering from dehydration, because like I said before, and the only reason why I took these, I normally just let them grow in the wild. The only reason I took this is because I know for sure they're gonna die. Those leaves, the moisture that they have is gonna eventually dry out, and these will die with it. Die with the moisture. So yeah, that's why I took them. So whenever you're collecting yamadori, whenever you're collecting any type of plant, really, you should always take into consideration that you should not remove it without permission, or if it's not eco-friendly, if it's not sustainable. But anyway, we can see that we got tons and tons of these little Bucida Spinosa or black thorny olive plants. Yeah, and in addition to that one, or to that species, we also have these two great, it's three actually, I think, Madras Thorn trees. Yeah. Where I live, these are known as wamuchiles or wamuchil. Yeah, but I just realized that the common name for this in English is Madras thorn. Yeah. It's actually related to the Brazilian rain tree, and I've seen people in the Philippines grow these as bonsai as well. And for some reason, even before I started growing bonsai, I noticed that the leaf was very, very small. It had nice bark. It grew very, very fast, and it grows naturally where I live. So I always consider it like a very suitable candidate to grow as bonsai. But just recently I started to do that. In fact, let's take a look at one of them right now. We can see one of them here. You've seen me work very briefly in these little guys in previous episodes, but you can see that it's growing nicely in a colander, and it's got a sacrifice branch there, so it can continue to elongate and it can continue to thicken at the base. But like I said, look at the leaf size. Beautiful. It ramifies very well, and so it lends itself very well to be grown as bonsai. So when I saw the Bucida Spinosa, the black thorny olive, and these little guys growing next to them, you know, I knew I had to take them. So that's why I collected a few, and we're gonna work on them, right? So we're back, and the next step would be for these to be pruned, root prune, right? So we're gonna remove the top root. We're gonna leave only roots that are growing gradually and horizontally. We're gonna do a little bit of pruning, yeah? So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and I'll show you what they look like when they're finished. So these are pruned now. We can see that we only left radial roots, and I also cut a little bit of the foliage. So the root structure would be enough to feed all of the foliage and the plant wouldn't go into shock. And we got them all here. Yeah. So let's go ahead and plant these. So I have this nice little top of substrate that I'm not using anymore. So it's just a matter of sticking them in the soil. Yeah, and give them a thorough watering after we've done. So I decided I'm going to plant the others, the Madras Thorn, in a different container. At least one of them, you know, because I think it's in the next stage of development. It's very vigorous, and you know, I can, this one right here, this one, and I can already plant it in a, you know, in a training container, you know. So let's go ahead and do that too. So here it is. You can see that it's, you know, much bigger, and that it's now planted in this little plastic rectangular bonsai training pot. Yeah. So yeah, the only thing left for us to do is to water them, and we'll call this a day. So I'm going to go ahead and water this one, and you can see that the bonsai soil that I'm using has very, very good drainage. You see that? It's nice and porous. It's got some organic matter in the shape of worms castings and I think cocoa peat. So you know, it's a very good environment for these little plants to grow. So Madras Thorn, finish. Let's go ahead and water the spiny black olives. Yeah. Okay, let's go. So here I go. You know, same thing with this type of soil. You know, the substrate is very, very draining. It's got some nutrition as well in the shape of organic matter, and it should be no problem for these little guys to adapt themselves very well to their new environment after living all their life right there on the side of the walk. Sorry, on the side of the road, on the sidewalk. This should be absolutely no problem. You know, so I'll just keep them in a partially shaded spot, and they shall be all right. Okay. So the last thing that we're going to do is we're going to take a look at some little pine seedlings, the ones we transplanted last time, and we'll call this a day. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. So here we are. We can see that I've transplanted most of them already, and some of them are in, you know, bigger containers, but some of them continue to be planted in those styrofoam little cups. Yeah. Still, you can see it's absolutely no problem for them because they have much more soil when compared to growing all bundled up together in the colander, right? So you can see that this was a nice little experiment, and you know, these are readily available where I live. You just have to order them on the mail. You have to make sure that you buy pine nuts with their husks on, and you'll have tons and tons of little pine seedlings to work as bonsai. Yeah, or you can actually even sell these. Yeah, they're so vigorous and they're so fast growing and easy to germinate that you can start your own business with these. Yeah, so it's definitely an option if you live in Mexico. That's definitely something that I'll be trying in the future. And another update. This little guy, this little blue juniper root over rock. We can see that I've completely removed the plastic bag, and more work on this little guy will be coming up in a future video. Okay, so it's nice talking with you guys. I hope you have a very good week, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay, if you haven't subscribed to my terrarium channel and you're interested in them, be sure to head over to my other channel, subscribe, leave comments, questions, doubts, anything, drop them down below and in my other channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay, bye.